Hello, everyone. The computer laptop is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Shalafialewa. Let's see what's going on in this one. Hold on 1 second, people. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. All right, there we go. Hello, Illinois Sanctuary. How are you? Hello, Olamiriwaju. Thank you, Treasure. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Treasure Treasure. Hi. Happy Thursday, everybody. Y'all done with your Valentine's Day celebration? Hello, Finest Shandy. How are you? Y'all back from Valentine's Day celebration? Okay. I will look up. I thought I lost you anyway. Hey, Miss Savannah, how are you doing? Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. Kindly like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hello, Mr. John. And we go live every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. What's going on, people? What did you guys do for Valentine's Day yesterday? Hope you had a beautiful day yesterday. I did. I was my own Valentine. Hey. TJ and I were each other's Valentines. And it worked out well. Hello, Local Fast 10. How are you? Happy Thursday, everybody. Come on in. Say hello when you come on. And as you as you're coming in, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure you do so. Stop by real quick. We would love to have you subscribe and share, follow, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the good stuff at Olale Immigration. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 Olale. I am an immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. So I tell you, when I tell you that we get that question every single day, I kid you not. That okay, Texas, it doesn't matter as long as an attorney practices immigration law and they're licensed in one state, they can represent you. Hello, Miss Mary, how are you? So regardless of where you live, actually, I'm supposed to have actually 2 interviews, actually 3. I have one of my clients has an interview on Monday in New Orleans, one on Wednesday in Texas, and one on Thursday in Philadelphia. So go figure, right? And so yeah, just like Ms. Ellen just posted, representation in all 50 states. 334-341-4475. That is our contact number. We'll be happy to represent you in your immigration case, via green card, marriage-based, regular marriage-based green card, citizenship, I-751, H-1B, NIW petitions, perm cases, you name it, we will be glad to represent you. All right, people, let's talk immigration. Let's try to make it real quick because I want to try to get as many questions as possible. But I had a consult today, and that's why I want to talk real quick about when you can file for citizenship and how you can calculate that, right? So filing for citizenship, it's not really tricky, but it's if you get the calculation properly and correctly, then you should be fine. So the lady I consulted with today had her in 400 denied, not because she did anything wrong, but because she filed much earlier than she should have, based on when she thought that she was eligible to file for citizenship. So let's get right into it. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Real quick, when to file for citizenship, and then we get to questions. This is the easiest way that I can think of calculating that. And it's, it can be confusing because I've got that question comes up a lot. It's like, I filed for citizenship, she 3 years, need 5 years, need she 3 years. It's not based on the length of your marriage. Let's just get that straight. It is not based on how, if you're planning to file for citizenship based on married to a U.S. citizen. So let's do it this way. Everyone has to file for citizenship. If you're not in the military, that's the exemption. If you're not in the military, everyone has to wait 5 years before they're able to file for citizenship. If you're going to accept, you are married to a citizen, meaning you got your green card through marriage to a citizen. If you got your green card through marriage to a citizen, then you're required to wait 3 years before you can file for citizenship. Then the question really is, when do you start to count the 3 years and when do you start to count the 5 years? The easiest way you can get that calculation correctly is pick up your green card. And everyone's green card has what we call a resident since date. If whatever the date of your resident since date, that is where you start to count for citizenship as far as your eligibility for citizenship. 90 days before the 30th anniversary, 90 days before the 50th anniversary. So if you do it that way, you will remember that it's not based on, so it doesn't matter if you've been married for 10 years. That the USCIS doesn't care about that. What matters as far as the 3 years and the 5 years starts from that date on your green card that says resident since whatever that date is. That's where your 3 years starts to count, and that's where your 5 years starts to count. So example, you've been married to a U.S. citizen for the past 5 years, right? And let's say 6 years. Past 6 years, you've been married to a U.S. citizen. You got your green card through marriage sometime in 2022, right? And now you've got, and based on, getting your green card, because you've been married for more than 2 years, you have a 10-year green card. So you don't have to deal with conditional residency and all that good stuff. Now it's time to file for citizenship. You're thinking, okay, come 2024, I've been married to this person for 6 years. Am I eligible for citizenship? Short answer is no, because the length of your marriage, the 6 years, has nothing to do with you filing for citizenship. What matters is when you got that card in 2022, that green card would have whatever date it has in 2022, and it would say resident since. And so that is the applicable date for calculation of the 3 years based on marriage to a citizen. And then you're able to file for citizenship within 90 days before the 30th anniversary. If you're not married to a citizen, or even if you got your green card through marriage, but your spouse is a green card holder, or you get your green card through employment or based on asylum, everyone else in those categories have to wait for 5 years. And the 5 years starts to count from that resident since date. So it doesn't matter whether you're married to a citizen, not married to a citizen. You do not have to, you're not counting when you qualify for citizenship based on the length of your marriage. You're counting when you qualify for citizenship based on how long you have been a green card holder for. And you can find out how long you've been a green card holder for by looking at your green card, and the date that says resident since whatever date, that's when your 3 years end or your 5 years starts to count. In addition to that, you've also got to maintain continuous residence and physical presence. It's not just about, okay, I've been a green card holder for 3 years and married to a citizen, and then that's it. No, you've also got to prove that if you're filing based on 3 years, for instance, USCIS or the law requires you to have been physically present in the United States within those 3 years for at least 18 months out of the 3 years. If you're filing based on 5 years as a green card holder, the law requires you to have been physically present in the United States for at least 30 months within those 5 year period, physical presence. Then you also have to consider your continuous residency, meaning how often you've been out of the United States. So even if you've been physically present for the required length of time, or you've been, a green card holder for the 3 years or 5 years, if you have broken the chain of continuous residency, is what it's called, meaning you have been outside the United States for more than 180 days, there's a rebuttal presumption that you can argue with that. But for sure, if you've been out of the United States for a period of a year at once, you would have broken the chain in continuous residency. So you're calculating based on how long you've been a green card holder and what your category will be, eligibility category will be. Is it 3 years married to a citizen? If not, then it's 5 years. And then you're also making sure that you've been physically present for the required amount of time and you've not broken the continuous residency requirement. Those three things have to match. How long to and you won't I-94 more. Yeah, but see, every single time you leave the country and come back in, you know, they have your records, you got your passport, you got your travel documents. USC, yeah, you know USCIS. The US government keeps every record. US government keeps every record. They know who's coming in, they know who's going, at least. Like, you know what? Let's leave the border alone. Talking about coming in through, being checked in, inspected, or coming in through the airport, that kind of thing. So they will know, and that's why when you go for your citizenship interview, they would have your record as far as when you come in and not. If you lie about how often you have traveled, and they show you that you lied, that's going to trigger them finding that you lack good moral character, and that will lead to a denial of your citizenship application. So the easiest way to just round that up is, when did I become a green card holder? And to know that, look at your card. The time you spend as a conditional resident also counts towards the 3 years or the 5 years. Even if you're married to a citizen, remember that you're required to maintain marital union with that citizen in order to qualify. If you're divorced or you're separated and there's no longer a marital union, then you're going to default to 5 years and you have to wait 5 years. And that's all, sure, people. That's it. First time joining. Thank you. BC. Right, just cut that. BC Lomo, I think. So that is the easiest way to figure that out. It's, so you don't end up, because USCIS only that wing quite. They don't they don't refund money, but they wouldn't now because they've already processed it. And then when they review it, they're like, oh no, she doesn't qualify. All right, and deny, and that was the end of it. End of story. So now she's got to wait, because she's not even 3 years yet, but she's been married longer than 3 years. So that's what she thought. And that's why you have to consult. See, when you try to save money, you're like, I can't even feel like it's for me. Well, she had to now spend the money today, because later, like, okay, yeah, qualify what they found. Should have saved herself $700 or something then, just saying. But anyway, so that's that and that. Okay. Let's do as many questions as we possibly can. So put in your questions, and thank you, BC Lomo, for joining. Appreciate that. Once you come in, please say hello. Once again, contact information is 334-341-4475. olalayalawfirm.com. That is our website. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, information is scrolling across the screen. Instagram, Miss Illinois got you. And then if you're on TikTok, if you go on the very, very top of the comments, you would see our contact information as well. Okay. All right. Check by the Valentine Lano. It just me now. It just me now. I worked from home yesterday, so I haven't celebrated Valentine's Day in think about rolling band. Oh, and okay, 2 years. It's not that bad. Anyway, okay. Mr. Peter, I have your Valentine gift waiting here. Okay. That's okay. You want to mail it to me? I'm about to, hey, listen. Actually, I had a former client sent me gourmet, it's amazing how people actually remember what you say. So I've actually said that one of my favorite things ever, and TJ knows that. Well, TJ also knows, if he doesn't like it with nuts, is chocolate covered berries with nuts. Like, forget it. The strawberry from the tea. I don't do dark chocolate. I don't do the healthy. Don't miss me with that one. Why calling money? Why you actually dark chocolate? It's as horrible as anything. So it's got to be milk chocolate or white chocolate. and nuts. So I said it sometime, and they actually mailed edibles or whatever. So that was very thoughtful. That was really, really thoughtful. But I just got it today. So 𝒂𝒏𝒕 was still good. But anyway, so I hope you all had a wonderful time. Love is a beautiful thing. If you're lucky enough to have someone to share it with, it is a beautiful thing. There's nothing like it. Alrighty, let's see. So thank you, Mr. Peter. Today's topic is not for me. Still looking forward to filing. Val, I already liked your video. I will see you on the next one. All right, no worries, Mr. John. Thank you. Appreciate that for stopping by. Thank you, Ms. Abena. So if you would love to have consultations with us, it's the easiest and fastest way to schedule one is going on our website, onlinelandlawfirm.com. 30 minutes, 140, 45 minutes to 10, and 60 minutes an hour to 50. Will I get prima facie if I make decent money and on H-1B visa? Those two grounds have nothing to do with whether or not you get a prima facie determination. Does this apply if you get your green card through VA? Great question, Kay. So if you get your green card through VA, and when you say does this apply, I'm assuming you mean when you calculate citizenship, it's still the same thing. If you're married to a citizen, then you still qualify and you get your green card through VA, and you're married to, you were married, still married, or were married to a citizen, you still qualify based on 3 years. The good thing about the VA process is it doesn't matter whether or not you're still married to the abusive spouse. So in a regular marriage case, if you get your green card through in a regular marriage case, the citizenship and you qualifying for citizenship based on 3 years, then you are required to still be in marital union with your spouse, meaning you're living together and things are still fine. There's good faith evidence and all that. In a VA case, however, even if you are divorced from that spouse, as long as that spouse was a citizen and you've had your green card for at least 3 years, then you will still qualify to apply for citizenship after 3 years, in spite of you no longer married or living with that abusive spouse. So I hope that answers your question, Kay. Okay. I'm going to start from the bottom this time. Let's see. Can I go ahead and file citizenship while removal of status is still pending? Yes. So if you still have your I-751 pending, you still will qualify for citizenship as long as you have met those requirements I said, either based on the 3 years, based on the 5 years, continuous residency, physical presence. If you've met all of that, even if they have not made a decision on your I-751, you still will be able to go ahead. And actually, a lot of people do that. And we do that sometimes to actually speed up the I-751, because I-751 petitions are taking much longer. Right now, they're issuing 4-year extension notices just because it's taking that long. And if you qualify, most people actually get to qualify for citizenship while the case is still pending. If that happens, that's a way to actually help to speed up your 751, because except you're in the military, they have to approve your 751 before they can approve your citizenship application. Is USCIS having delays on biometrics cases? I haven't seen that in my firm. Can someone file for VA after his marriage filing was denied due to fake former divorce papers? If your fake former divorce papers, if the divorce papers are still your divorce papers, you're still required to have that in your VA case. And so it will still affect you in your VA case. You're not going to get away from that. What does October 2019 priority date means, if you don't mind? It just means that that's the date that the underlying petition was filed. So whatever the underlying petition was, either an I-130, I-140, whatever it was, that's the date it was filed. And if when either USCIS or the National Visa Center starts working on cases filed on or before that date, then you're eligible to now apply for a green card or an immigrant visa. So disclaimer, General information, nothing specific to anybody's case. General information. The money no, we're gonna do that. So just so you know. And any questions about processing time, how long something is going to take, please go to uscis.gov/processing times. It will let you know how long any particular application is taken. What advice do you have for someone who came through visiting visa to stay? Sit down with the lawyer and discuss your options. At what stage should one renew his work permit if you've got 6 months or less on your current work permit? This is, oh wow, 2 years ago I watched your program when I was about to file AOS. I've been doing this for 2 years. Really? 2 years now. Removal of conditions. Oh wow, amazing. Thank you for watching for 2 years. I appreciate that, and I do not take it for granted. Thank you. Can someone who filed U.S. and divorce did I lose? Okay, my internet. And remarry, can she still file? Someone who filed USCIS and divorce, but not up to 10 years, and remarry. What are you asking? Can you maybe you have to rephrase your question? Okay. Thank you, Boo 649. I've done biometrics and they haven't called me for interview. What can I do? You got to keep waiting. Your case is most likely still within the normal processing time. Do we need to withdraw asylum pending case to apply for adjustment I-130? I usually do not recommend that you withdraw your case. Look at it this way: if the case does not get approved, then what do you? Right now, you've got the asylum case pending. That's like a backup plan, right? No one doesn't affect the other. So hopefully your marriage case gets approved. But what if it doesn't get approved? What's going to happen if you withdraw it? But if it doesn't get approved and you still have your asylum pending, then you're not looking to be placed in deportation. You've got a backup plan. But once it's approved and you get your green card, then you inform the asylum office that you have your green card now and that you're looking to withdraw your application at that time. What if I'm a green card holder and I want to bring my girlfriend in? How can I do it? Either she applies for a non-immigrant visa or you guys get married and you file for her. There is no visa category for girlfriends or fiancés of green card holders. Do you deal with EB2 national interest waiver? Yes, I do. What documents are needed for citizenship? So if you go on uscis.gov, the form you want to fill or to file, they actually provide a courtesy checklist for documents that they require. So that's one source that a lot of people can use because that's coming directly from them. Okay. Got my interview done 2 days ago. Case still shows interview was scheduled. Okay, so what's your question? Someone should please drop the USCIS email. Okay. A marriage process with legal alien, will they be deported during process? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking, but if you've got a pending adjustment of status, that's kind of like pause as any unless you get in trouble or you get arrested or something. But for the most part, if you have something pending, that kind of like puts a hold on USCIS putting that person in deportation at that, as long as that application is still pending. I like your hairstyle in the gray hair. Thank you. I've done my biometrics, but they haven't. Okay, that's the question. Just answered. We gotta wait. Let's get married. Okay. I think there has to be a beginning of that. Okay, let's see. What if I file for citizenship? Do I have to file for my son differently? If your son, so when you file for citizenship and you become a citizen, if your son or anyone's child is under the age of 18 and still unmarried, under 18, and they're green card holder, that child actually automatically acquires citizenship through you the day you are sworn in. So if you, as long as the child is under the age of 21, unmarried under 21, I'm sorry, no, not 21, under 18, unmarried under the age of 18, on the day you are sworn in as a citizen, that child would automatically acquire citizenship through you. And all you have to do is file for an N600. Some people would file for their passport, but I prefer to have the N600 so you actually have a certificate. They don't give you a hard time when you go apply for the passport. If you file the citizenship and gone through the entire process, that's exactly what happens to the person that comes. But you were when you filed too early, they're gonna have to deny you. Sometimes they'll give you an opportunity to withdraw your application and then tell you to refile when you become eligible. If not, they will deny it. Thank you, Harold 951. If my divorce is not finalized, can I file I-751 now? If you're filing based on a self petition based on divorce, I usually say make sure, unless you're already almost out of the 2-year period, but make sure you're close to your divorce getting final, because if you're filing based on divorce, there's nothing USCIS can do. They'll probably send you a request for evidence, and depending on what state you're in, how long the divorce process is taking, it's good to have an estimated time before you file a divorce-based I-751. My aunt filed for my dad in 1998. I was 23 when it came through. Can anything be done for me? I'm 38 now. Unfortunately, the age doesn't freeze in the sense of it. Well, there's a calculation that is done that should have been done at that point. If nothing was done, for instance, you have to have sought to acquire your immigrant visa. There's a whole lot that should have been done. Then it depends on what the act that was applicable at the time the petition for your dad was granted. So this is not something that you just said yes or no. It's something you sit down with a lawyer and figure out by calculation whether or not there's anything that could be done for you at this point, which probably most likely not, but it's still worth taking a shot at it. Am I eligible for derivative citizenship by the age of 25? And again, we could voila. 25 long. 25 going to be multi the grandmother. Just yeah. Can I send I-131 after receipt of I-485? Yes, and you want to do it now, because keep in mind April 1st filing fees are going up, and after April 1st filing I-485 doesn't waive the fee for advanced parole or work authorization anymore. Those applications will now have their own separate filing fees. Q7, hello. Okay. How are you, user? I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Hey, baby. Did you like it?
I didn't eat it.
You haven't eaten anything? Okay.
Are you gonna eat this?
That's yours.
Oh,
I just everything on there. I got it for you.
I appreciate.
Appreciate you too. Okay. All right. So I think I can you file for your spouse to come to the United States without income, but you have the application fee? So if you're asking about not working and it's time for you to file for to submit the application at the National Visa Center and all that, if you do not have income, you still will be required to file the 864 form. But if you don't have any income, then you must have a joint sponsor. Urel, how can you consult with you? If you go on our website, olalayalawfirm.com, or text Lydia is on, she gets question, but she would respond at the end of this. 334-341-4475. We can text to that and she'll send you the information. But the easiest way is to go on our website. Right there, it's so easy to browse through, and you'll be able to schedule directly yourself, or any of our social media platforms. Or you can call our office tomorrow, 334-341-4475. God bless you for all this free information, because information is power. Yes, knowledge is power. Sometimes I'm tired today right now. I have to tell you, it was a long day. It was a long day. But I'm the kind of person that once I commit to something, in my life seems my life seems full. But apart from that, I just know that there's some things that people can do on their own. Obviously, I always said, it's good to always talk to a lawyer, but there are so many people that are misled. I have a client. Well, she's not a client, but she consulted with me, and when she came into the country, she actually had an opportunity to file for her green card. But unfortunately, she was introduced to someone who told her they were a lawyer, but they were not. And they filed the wrong applications for her and her child. By the time USCIS adjudicated it, it was 2 years later. And that was when they found out that they filed the wrong application. When they tried to file the right application, USCIS knows that it's already there out of status. So my point is, if any of this helps anybody to just at least have an idea what it is you need to do. I don't know everything. Do I make errors? Absolutely, because we're all human. But whatever it is that I can share that's going to be helpful to anyone, so you can know what direction maybe you can steer in the right direction, then I believe it's all worth it. My asylum is closed. I-130 is approved. I filed I-601A. So can I get advanced parole? I have emergency at home. No, there's no basis for advanced parole. If you already have a 601A that was approved, then is your priority date current? Are you married to a citizen? If that's the case, then you may want to start with your application back home. But when you say asylum is closed, be sure that when you mean that it's been terminated, not that you were ordered removed. That's one thing you want to be sure of. Can a conditional green card holder file for his children? Yes. What if you don't have a sponsor at the organization for a sponsor? I don't know of any. Okay. You're welcome. The love rain. You are welcome. How do you get your hair to look like that? It's unique. Thank you. It just braided. I don't know if you guys can. This hair. It's nappy hair, but I am not one. I don't know if my mom is here. I remember my mom used to. I for the first 5-6 years of my life, I looked like my older brother. I have an older brother. There's 16 months between us. And so I wore the same thing he wore because nobody could touch my hair. So we had the same haircut, everything, no hair, because I've just always been a non-hair kind of girl. Like I was a tomboy. Y'all, you're like, Cecilia, tomboy. I was a serious tomboy. My mom will tell you. The only thing that made me different from my brother was the mini earring. That's all. If not, I don't you tie on you inside VI. But after and then in secondary school, I cut my hair again because there was the time back in the day. It's 30 years this year that I graduated from high school, secondary school. Back in the day, there was a time that said if you had perm hair, you had to cut it, and so it's like, it's all well and good. Please, where's the scissors? It was freeing for me. So for me, and there's a time in college I did braids. I love braids. But then it really, really intensified the migraines I've dealt with since God knows how long. So for me, just not having anything on my head is, and I just don't care to sit down in the salon. I don't. So I had to find a hairstyle that just worked for me. Like, okay, Mulenji, just brush it and go. Especially when I became a mom. I don't know about Jenny. I don't need like 4 or 5 kids. God bless you. Mama Beshisheo in this US. Mm-mm, mm-mm. My boys have 5 years, 5 years, 8 months, almost 6 years between them. Because I had the first one like, Naja. You always Naja when you had like how in 90s a dime doesn't count. You can hire like 290s for one child. But in the US, the nanny is making more than you're making. So I was like, no, this is not even funny. So there's almost 6 years between my boys. And then when TJ came, I called TJ my human birth control. He's here, he's listening. Because I was like, I know you're going to need TJ's twins. So during that time, I was like, things that could make life a lot easy. I think when I had TJ, I cut my hair again because first of all, I went through. I don't know if anybody had. I both times I was pregnant with my kids. I fell within the 5% of women who had complete hair loss, breakage. So I had to cut it and start all over again. And so I just decided, you know what? Let me just leave my natural hair and see what happens. It is really, really nappy, but it's good. We thank God for it. How long can someone stay outside the country with travel permit? I usually tell my clients, unless there's an emergency that's keeping you home, please don't stay more than 60 days at the most. But it just depends, as long as it's valid. But usually, if you're staying so long, you're going to raise eyebrows when you're coming in. Thank you, Tensi. How long does it take for a fiancé visa for someone out of America? USCIS.gov/person times. Okay, let's see. You taking your client? It depends on the kind of case you have. But everyone's case has to start with a paid consultation. Will my wife being 3 years older than me make my marriage green card harder to get? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have a couple that the guy got here 2 weeks ago. There's a 39-year age gap between them. 39 years. Yeah, 39. And he's here. So 3 years. 3 years. Are you trying to say that if I date somebody who I'm 3 years older than, they'll say I'm a cougar? No, they need. I mean, at what age do you become a cougar? Now? Like what is the age difference? That's up for me now because I'm 45. I'm going to be 46 in August. So if I date someone who is like 40, bad now, right? Okay, let's see. Is it safe if I go to my interview alone and withdraw my I-485 because my spouse would? Don't withdraw your I-485. Let me tell you something. One of the evidence you can use in a VAR case and to convert to a VAR case is if your spouse is using your immigration status as a weapon against you. Why would you want to withdraw that when you can ask for them to convert it and give you 30 days to file the VAR case? Then for you to start all over again, they're going to revoke your work permit, and then you're going to pay new filing fees and get a lawyer, John. Get a lawyer. That's what you need to do. And I think I know. Maybe it's not you because it just sounds really, but that's what you need to do. Can I find I-131 after receiving I-40? So I just answer your question in TikTok. Yes. How long? Anything about how long you've got to go on? I have asylum pending interview, which I filed before getting out of status. My employer is willing to file for adjustment of status for me. Will this require me to go to my country or so? Not to your country, to a third-party country. But since you filed it before you got out of status, you haven't accrued any unlawful presence, so you should be fine. Can I file for that and get my work permit on the C9 category without having any previous AOS filing? No. C9 is attached to the AOS filing. So if you want to C9, if you want a work permit while your VAC is pending, you've got to file the 485 and file the C9 category. Okay. Yes. And we represent immigration clients in all states. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Just general information. If my visiting visa was canceled because I was working on it, will I get an H2 visa? That may affect them grant to you, because if you have triggered some kind of inadmissibility ground, that may affect them approving any other visa for you. Nannies are making money. Please tell me about. I had to be. Listen, I put a law degree on the back burner when my kids are much younger, and I had to be. I was a stay-at-home mom for about 10 years. People, yeah, it wasn't this legal stuff. We were wiping, you know what, little butts in diaper, and breastfeeding and all the good stuff. Because people are like, I don't know. No, I did. I've been there, done that. This human being that's now bigger than taller than me. There was a time we were wiping his butt, but thank God for now. So, because my ex-husband, he's a physician. He owns his own clinic now, but back then he was a bloody resident. So ninkaka. So what we gonna pay? And we had our first child, SJ, when we were living in Chicago, and my ex-husband was a resident then, still in training. And then, but by the time we had TJ, he was already working, but I was still a stay-at-home mom because it just didn't make sense at that point. That was what worked for us at that point. Can someone travel out of the U.S. without green card and her husband, but have traveling documents? If you have a pending case, as long as you've got a pending case and you've got your advanced parole, but I don't know what you mean by travel documents. So if you have a lawyer, please make sure. This is what I always tell my clients. Please, before you leave, Ketokuro in the US, to be alone. And hey, it's lawyer, Ghana, Nigeria, what's going on? Please let me know. And let's verify that you're, because I've got someone who we're still trying to get out of detention now because he left the country without knowing that his advance parole was expired. Emailed me. I did not respond because we were during email. It was during the Christmas holiday that he had immediate, my auto response like, hey, if this is an emergency, please call our office or email this person. They'll get in touch with you. Didn't do that. Just left. And then came back. I was like, hey, I'm back. Okay, what's going on? Oh, I left. You did what? We're still trying to get him out of because they won't let him in. And we had to now seek asylum at the border. We're still working through that. It's been months now. So it can get really bad. So please do yourself a favor and make sure you know that you have your right papers. Okay. That gray hair is nice. Thank you. Hello, Epic Movement. Did you get my response to your email? Talk about opportunities F1 visa have to get legal status after I-20 was terminated. That's a whole lot to talk about. You can read up on that, or you can set up a consultation for that. About to file for AOS, but I'm at fault for public charge because I'm on Medicaid. My husband doesn't make less, but didn't put me on his insurance. Will that be a problem with my application? It depends on how long you were on it for. You just never know how it's going to go. And sometimes they may give you, I've seen that happen where they give you a penalty to pay. And sometimes they may find you inadmissible because you're being a public charge, depending on how much of the benefits you have received. So I would say make sure you have a lawyer that is on your case. You're so relatable and easy to talk to. Thank you for this forum. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I come from a place where what I really wanted when I was going through the process of getting our papers, we had a lawyer, and at that time I wasn't licensed in the US yet. I only had my license from Nigeria, but I hadn't gone back to law school and all. But I was, because of the lawyer, I worked in an immigration firm when I lived in Massachusetts. So that was my first love for immigration, because I worked, I volunteered initially before they filed an H-1B for me. And so seeing people come in and, people just crying, I was like, fine, what's going on? And seeing that people's lives were changing and people could stay and they could work and send money back home to take care of people. And I'm thinking, and I mean, I was so good at what I did that the lawyer, the immigration attorney there in Massachusetts says, hey, how would you like to work here for a while? And I can file for a work visa for you. It's like, really? Like, for real? Because I came on a visitor visa and I was going to be leaving in like a month or so, and they put in an H-1B application for me. So that was my very first B1 to H-1B. And then I was dating my ex-husband, but we had a falling out. So his family, let's leave that alone. But his family got involved and tried to break us up. I was like, you know what? You go with your family and leave me out of this whole mess. So I was like, you know what? We're breaking a bye. Go. So I was like, single ladies, all these single ladies kind of thing. So, and then he came back to his senses and reached out to my brother, like, girl, I'm to find that. Let's get back. It still didn't work out. I tried. We were together for 22 years, married for 15, together for 22 years. We tried. We got 2 beautiful kids together. Can't ask for anything more. But that was, so I come from a place where I know what it feels like, and it was, and then when we're going through getting our own green cards through national interest waiver, that was where I developed my love for national interest waiver employment base, because that's how I got my green card through my ex-husband. I learned a lot, and it was important that I was able to communicate with the attorney on the case. Unfortunately, not really. But I had to learn a lot, because for me, I needed to know more about what was going on in our process. And so I guess that's where that comes from. So, okay, great, Epic. All right. All right, even what to do with this, I want to get, because I got to spend some time with my baby. He was in soccer practice and all that. I don't see if my oldest kid is on here. He may or may not be here. Let's see. I'm trying to get to everyone's questions if I can. Okay, let's see. Ola from Houston. Okay. Is it Ola? Okay, good. Well, I did. Happy Valentine's Day. You too. You can't tell you didn't go anywhere with you with your post today. I got berries though. I got berries. At this point in my life, my time is very valuable. I am at that stage of life where that's a lot of in 2, 3, 4 strikes. If it's I've just come to understand it's a privilege to have people in your space. If someone doesn't deserve it, and the same applies for me too. Yeah, I have to earn being someone's space. And if you mess it up, that's it. We'll be loving each other from afar till Jesus comes back. So it's not, I've had I've had the grace, I would say that way, of having, I'm a relationship kind of person, like I said, 22 years with someone, and then I was engaged to somebody. We're together with him for almost 4 years, and then it dawned on me one day, it's like, no more, I marry him right now. I told him a lot. I don't want to marry right now, and I told him, like, hey, don't see myself getting married right now. But there be no yellow. Hey, there it is. In this phase of this life is let's just leave that alone, financially. How about you and your handsome husband? Yinka, this lady, I'm telling you, if you see this woman, gorgeous as it, like, geez, the first time we met, like, what? You're not fine by you're fine. Well, I will go find this. So what, like, yeah. Miss Eleanor said she slept and watched some Tyler Perry. Oh my goodness. I mean, listen, but if you're lucky to find love, there's nothing like there's no one that should be. I'm someone who I love my space, but I also know that there's no one who should do life by themselves. I mean, come on, one life to live. But it should be with the right person. I need your service. Please contact us at 334-341-4475. Miss Murray says, "Good evening, Willie." Okay. Let's see. Hello, Island Girl. I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself? A recent graduate of Management Information Systems here in the US. How can I file for NIW, or do I need essential documents? Consult with a lawyer. We'll be glad to talk to you about what you need and qualifications. 334-341-4475. Hello, Miss Timmy. How are you? Mr. Calvin, that's what I just explained. Your own 3 years kind of qualification, not what I should explain you, because that is also similar to VAR case. It's you 3 years. I don't want to say much about your case, but it's the same concept about being married to a citizen, even though you're now divorced. As long as you get your green card through abuse, that 3 years still is applicable. Yeah. I want to hear about everyone's Valentine's Day. Like why not? But wait, the interview after Valentine's Day. I want to interview to come up this week and the weeks to come, up until the next holiday. Where Kilomani and Yawifu, right? The word is enough for the wise. What if you know, you know. So we got a no. Oh, that hello college when you finish exam. Okay, auntie, no, brother. Just saying, because they will ask you. Mr. Brennan says I wore a red dress for you. Let's see the photos. Send us the photos. We want to see. This lady says something. Okay. Oh, thank you, Finance. I owe you one now. That one walk away. Hopefully, I make it to your end later this year. Got an interview late. The case still shows interview schedule. So, what is your question? What can I do? Someone's work authorization is about to expire the following month and not yet received a new work authorization. What can the person do? USCIS one. If you filed it, then you must have received the receipt notice. Right now, it used to be 540 days, but starting October of last year, is back to 180 days. So your receipt notice is proof that your expired work permit is extended for another 180 days until you get the new one. I need to send the letter I got from USCIS after my naturalization interview. Please, I want your direct email. If you haven't consulted with me before, you're going to have to set up a proper paid consultation. I don't review anything for free. This is what I do for free. So unless you've consulted with me before, but your face kind of looks familiar though. But if not, you can call us at 334-341-4475. Do I need my neighbor's witness letters about the abuse? If they know about it, then that helps your case. Having interview next month. Scared because I'm seriously forgetful and having trouble focusing. Don't be scared. Just pray. Prayer fixes a lot of stuff. Pray for, and if you have to, do some therapy, whatever it is, to get yourself in the right frame of mind. But at the end of the day, just believe that things will go as God plans and wishes them for you and desires and does design them for you. But just pray. Don't be anxious. It's easier said than done. But pray and believe that things will go well. I'm divorced. Can I travel and return without questions about my wife? I cannot tell you what is going to happen with CBP. Can you explain what priority date means? Priority date just simply means the date that your underlying petition was filed. Example, you have a citizen mother who files for a child or daughter that is 22 years old, right? So that puts you in unmarried daughter, 22 years old. That puts you in an F1 category, preference category. They filed the I-130 on February 15, 2024. It gets processed and all that. The priority date for the I-130 petition will be February 15, 2024. So basically, priority date for the most part is the date that the underlying petition, in this case, an I-130, which is the underlying petition for the daughter to apply for adjustment of status or immigrant visa, was filed. So when that priority date now is important in knowing when you can apply for a green card, because the petition can be approved and most likely will be approved way before you become eligible. The only people who don't have to wait to figure out priority dates are immediate relatives, meaning spouses, underage children of citizens, and parents. Everybody else falls in the preference category. You've got to figure out when you become eligible to apply for immigrant visa or adjustment of status. And that's where the priority date comes into play. Priority dates for employment-based, however, that is a perm application, meaning you're going through the Department of Labor. The priority dates for that specific EB2, EB3, or EB1, as long as there's a perm application involved, the priority date is the date that the Department of Labor receives that perm application. So that no matter how long it takes, and then before you file the I-140, if they receive your perm application today, February the 15th, 2024, and they certify it, say, December 15, 2024, you file your I-140 on that same date. When you file your I-140 with USCIS, even though you're going to be filing it in December, USCIS receipt notice will say your priority date is February 15, 2024, because the perm dates of filing is what will be applicable. I hope that helps some. H4 categories that can file for EAD include those whose H1B, it's not during the normal 6 years. It's when you have the extension based specifically on whether or not you've got like an I-140 that has been filed, but your priority date is not current, and you've got to not extend the H1B, then the H4 gets to be able to apply for work permits. That's an example. Let's see. What does reopen of that case mean? That you filed a motion to reopen, or that or you won an appeal and they remanded your case back and they reopened it? That's what generally would mean. If a VAW case is pending since 2019, can one submit another application? You're going to unless you want to withdraw that, but maybe you should do a congressional assistance request first, and then, because 2019, that's what, 5 years. But I have a case that someone had done and they put it over to me. We're still waiting. And sometimes, and I'll tell you, there are some cases that were filed with particular law firms or people who said they were law firms that are also part of some investigation with USCIS and the federal government. And it just depends on, you just never know what it is that is the delay. But it doesn't make any sense to file yet another application. Okay, fine, Shandy. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, tomorrow morning, I don't think I'm available before 11. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 text me. I think that's probably going to be preferable, and I'll call you when I get a chance. She and my work. Let's see. Okay, I already answered that. I'm telling you, why is it difficult to contact me? It's not difficult to contact me. You have to pay to talk to me. There's nothing difficult to contact me. If you're my client, then yeah, and you have a pending case with me, then my main contact is email. If you're a current client, everybody knows, because I cannot be on the phone and be productive. It doesn't happen. But I can tell you that, because I have a lot of friends that I know that they've got very, very strict rules when it comes to phone, even with current clients, I think I'm doing pretty good. But if you're not a current client, you've got to pay to discuss your case. It's very simple. Hello, Miss Omomi, how are you? Iwolewa láti joy. And I have some of my clients who actually have my personal cell phone. So if you're a client that doesn't have a personal cell phone, it's not because there's preference. It just depends on the kind of case you have. There's some cases that you've got to be able to reach me immediately. So, okay, perfect, epic. Okay, good. How do we change status from B1, B2, which we came in last December 2023? What are you changing to? What are you eligible to change to? I think you've got to start with that. And then how long were you given on your I-94? Thank you, Epic Movements. Oh, hello, Miss Fumi. How are you? Let's see. Okay. All right. If I understand it, he's good. Okay. My regards to him. Thank you, Epic Movement. I appreciate that. My American Niger converting husband. had to say Amalan, everything. Had to Ramalan to say Egusi and all that. And to convert, but is welcome on the other side. I mean, hey, somehow you're just gonna have to, even if you're not dating someone who is from Nigeria, right? They've got to understand. They've got to tap into that. There's just so much about being a Nigerian that you cannot really explain until you really come into it, right? As crazy as our country may be, pictures next year by Girls Chris. Okay, no worries. I'm still waiting though. I won't let it go. Let's see. Thank you, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. For the most part, and Epic, you've got my cell phone number, so he doesn't bug me. See, that's the thing, because I know the clients that won't bug me at all. The contact is not. Thank you, Miss Mary. It's not difficult at all. I know. I don't think that person is a client. They're just trying to, just like someone went to tell my mom that, or call my office. My mom said, no. I won't say anything today. Anyway, okay. All right. All right, I answered that already. Hello, Miss Tina. Good evening. Good evening. How are you? Be on the lookout on your end. You may get this stuff before I do on my end. So check him out. Okay. All right. How was your Valentine's Day? Okay. Is there any chance for me to get a green card without my I-94 if my son filed for me? Your I-94, you should be able to get it online. You should be able to get it online. You still speak Yoruba fluently. You can't forget in your 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 now. Well, that's fluently. I think you're using that loosely because like that is the same. Nothing against Igbo, That's my dad. My dad's like, Abisola, Mama Abi, Maso Yoruba be Omoibo. That's my mama. That's my dad, not me. I don't know how Omoibo sounds like you're speaking Yoruba. That's hey. As long as you say tomato, I say tomato. As long as you understand what I'm saying, that's all that matters. Okay. All right. So it makes me nervous that my spouse has to go to wires for interview and has to meet DUIs. I'm hoping you guys have spoken with a lawyer and just to see what may or may not happen. If you haven't, it would be best to do that. But and send him off with prayer. So yeah, okay. Um, from the kids, these ladies have started again. Anyway, okay, everyone. So I think we got to most questions. The questions are going to keep coming. So we just do what we can, but it's like I said, if we just keep going and being able to understand what people go through is one thing. It doesn't mean that I know everything or that we never get denied cases. We do. I'm I don't take cases just okay, and you just never know. But everybody deserves a chance to know. Can we try this? And I'll tell you upfront, hey, this is my concerns, or these are my concerns. But if it's a no, I don't file anything frivolous. That's the one thing. I won't waste your time. I won't waste your money. I won't waste my time. But we're all here in this country just trying to get ahead. And for most of us, especially those of us with kids, we're just trying to make sure that their future is better than what we have, and give them that opportunity that they can go anywhere in the world and still know that they've got roots back to the United States, and their generations to come don't have to worry about papers and all that. So when we think of that, I think and just believing that God hasn't brought us a mighty long way to let us just waste away. That helps us to keep going, because the delays can be frustrating. They can be anxiety driven. But what can we do besides just wait upon the Lord, and then whenever it is that He destines that things would fall into place, you would see that things will work out for you just like that. It's not going to tarry, it's not going to be delayed. But we can't get our blessings before they're supposed to be given to us. That's just the truth of the matter. So I pray that we have the patience to be able to just wait until God is ready to give us that which He has promised us. And if things will work out, the journey can be very frustrating. It can be very frustrating. And looking back, it took me from when I came into the country to getting a green card. It was 7 years. And that 7 year period was filled with all kinds of anxiety and everything. But then, that's because I know what I went through, and I know there are a lot of people who have gotten their green cards and citizenship. Everyone's got a unique story. And if God can do it for all of us that He has done it for, and being given the opportunity to either have a green card to travel or ultimately have that blue passport to travel anywhere in the world, then the same God that was able to do it for each and every one of us that's got that, He's still the same God on the throne who's able to do it for everyone else. So just hang in there. It will work out. The lines will fall for us all in pleasant places. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.